Ooh, I bet it's chilly out there on that water next to Lady Liberty. God bless her for staying out there on this chilly, chilly morning. Millions of people have made financial...
Just looking for money.
Oh, geez. I was like, what is going on over here?
Nothing in this bad boy.
Well, millions of people have made financial resolutions for 2022. But how do we make sure we're actually achieving those goals we set for ourselves?
Yeah, so Steve Siebold is a certified financial educator, author of the book, How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. He joins us live this morning to talk so much about this. So, Steve, good to see you. Help us out here, because I need to fill this wallet with something that's just not receipts, right? So the title of your book really says it all. So how are we suckers when it comes to money?
Well, most of us are never taught how money works in school. The financial lobby won't allow it, because the dumber we are about money, the richer they get. And they're the richest industry in the history of the world. So it's really put upon us as individuals to educate ourselves. And this book really was written for a 14-year-old so we can all understand it.
Well, that's always good. Well, talk to us about how we can actually come through then on achieving this financial success that you speak of. What's the first step on what we should focus on?
Well, I think find a goal that motivates you financially. And that could be any number, any type of goal, but something that really motivates you, that you can really get your energy behind and really move towards. And then educate yourself on some basic financial principles. That's really all most people need, and to start to pursue it.
So it's the why.
Yeah, and we hear about this idea of like side hustles and so on and so forth, right? So what are the ways, I guess, that you can go beyond your daily salary, create these multiple streams of income?
Well, I mean, it's easier to become an entrepreneur now and have a side hustle, as the kids like to call it, whether you're driving Uber or Lyft or starting a business on the internet, selling for Amazon or anything else. So maybe in addition to a job, you've also got a side business, and so you can create multiple streams of income to increase your net worth.
Yeah, but it's not that easy for everyone. But are there other ways? Like, I know that I have friends that sell their clothes, like resale and those kinds of things. Do you have any other options besides that, besides starting your own little company?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at all the things we don't use in our homes. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? I mean, over Christmas, I've been cleaning out closets all over, and it's just unbelievable the stuff we accumulate. So sure, to your point, I mean, sell things that you're not using, that type of thing. But also, just on the business front, just going back to it for a second, there's mentors. You know, get a mentor. Every entrepreneur I know is a mentor. Just like you guys had mentors probably to get into the world of television that kind of guide you along the way, and most people are willing to do it that are successful. So
so here's the thing. Once we have the idea and the why and all that, it may sound like it's a plan, but then there's this idea of holding yourself accountable, which many people just don't do. I, for myself, am like, oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to splurge a little bit here, and I'll make up for it later on, and so on and so forth, and then that starts the whole cycle, right? So how do you hold yourself accountable?
All right, Dan, I might pass this back to you because I know you're doing dry January because I'm watching the show. So you tell me, how are you keeping yourself accountable for not drinking?
Well, it's the Italian guilt.
That's good. No, I think really to tell people about it, put it in writing. Tell people around you about your goal. It always puts some pressure on you. And then again, as you guys mentioned a second ago, think about your why and why you're really doing this. What is the purpose, and how can it benefit you if you succeed?
Yeah, but it can be scary, though. It can be scary for a lot of folks. A lot of people might be thinking, this is too hard. I don't think I can do it. So when it comes to starting a new business or new business venture, how do we make sure we aren't holding ourselves back from our full potential?
Well, I think you're right. It can be scary, especially if you've never done it before, if you've never achieved financial independence or just being comfortable with money. I think taking baby steps, taking it slow, taking little steps at a time, set small goals, incremental goals, and then build your way up. And you'll find yourself becoming very comfortable, especially the more money that you accumulate, because it gives you a sense of comfort and peace of mind.
It's also, for me, it was always that mindset of taking whatever you're spending. So my weekly coffee, right, it would cost me somewhere $30-something a week. It was that mind shift of taking that $30 and socking it away into a savings account, making your own coffee. People are like, oh, well, $30 a week is so little, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, if once you understand how compound interest really works, and they should teach this in schools, and they don't, again, but how it really works. People think they understand compound interest, but if they really understood it, they would say probably what Einstein said, which is it's the eighth wonder of the world, the mathematical world, because it adds up. Well, you're totally right, Dan. I mean, the $30 really adds up over, say, 3 to 5 years. You'd be amazed with compound interest growing tax-free what it can amount to.
Well, you know, my husband and I have just started, we just opened up a debit account for both our girls, and one is 9 and one is 6, to just kind of teach them what you're saying that they should be teaching in school.
Well, absolutely. These concepts aren't that complicated. I mean, literally, you could teach you could teach a child these things, the basics that you really need to know. And the financial industry won't admit this usually because it hurts them, but you can teach someone on the back of a cocktail napkin.
Well,
if you really want to teach them the basics.
And Steve, you got to get them at college, right? In college, with that first day when your parents drive away and you can't wait till the car turns the corner, you don't see them anymore, right? You're like, bye, mom and dad, and then all of a sudden you turn your back. And there's the credit card table that's like, hey, your parents are gone. Sign this right here, right? And here's like 75,000 interest rate. And so, you know, you get yourself into trouble at an early age.
Hey, you start buying beer. That's the first thing you go for. You start buying beer. No, not you, Dan. Not you.
Not this month.
It's dry January.
Right.
Not this month. Not in February. Right. You're good to go. Not January.
Right.
But, yeah, you're absolutely right. Because I mean, they sock it to the kids because they know they don't know the difference and they don't know what they're going to end up being saddled with. And all of a sudden they think it's free money, and of course it's very expensive money.
All right, Steve. Hey, that was great stuff. Good. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and check out his book. Okay, Steve. Thank you very much. You want to plug it one more time?
Thanks, guys. It's called absolutely. Yeah, it's called How Money Works. You can get it on Amazon or anywhere, any bookstore.
Stop being a sucker.
That's my favorite part of it. Love the title, Steve. Thanks again. All right.
All right, 9:23, everybody, and I'll talk to you all in February. Okay, I'm going to stick with it for another January. All right. Another popular New Year's resolution: getting healthy.